And as we came out of lockdown, the prices of staple foodstuffs, of utility bills, and of practically everything else started to climb rapidly. People were struggling to feed the families. There was a rise in food bank usage, and fruit and vegetables and other staples just continued to rise in price. And also at the same time, there was an absolute apathy at dealing with climate change and ecological issues, where there was a lot of lip service, but absolutely nothing was being done whatsoever other than the support for fossil fuel industries. So I sat down and I thought long and hard about if there was any way that we as a community group could remedy this. And I came up with the idea of a community fruit tree project, and it was a very, very simple idea. I live on a council estate in Bolton, where there's quite a lot of low-income families. There's one or two people doing okay, but generally people are struggling. So the idea was that we go around knocking on people's doors and ask them if they wanted a fruit tree. A ludicrous idea, it might seem to some, but we decided to approach funders, and it was funded by Transition Together via the National Lottery Community Fund. So in the late winter of this year, myself and Ben, who forms a part of Community Roots Permaculture Project, we scoured all of the budget discount shopping centres in and around Bolton, and we bought lots of fruit trees and fruit bushes at a fraction of the price that you'd usually pay for them at garden centres. So we stored these in our back garden until the weather was good enough for us to go out without getting soaked to the bone. And we went out with 2 wheelbarrows full of fruit trees, a couple of spades and fruit bushes, and we basically knocked on people's doors and asked them if they wanted a fruit tree. And initially we were funded to plant 70 fruit trees, but since we've managed to buy up many of the fruit trees from discount centres and from car boots as well, from a lot of different car boots, we were actually able in the end to buy 85 fruit trees and 85 fruit bushes, which we were over the moon about. So we set about going around the estate, planting them in people's gardens. We had a lot of different conversations really about people were saying that they'd struggle to buy fruit for the kids and for themselves, and that they were looking forward to sort of harvesting this fruit sort of next year when the first crop appeared. And there was also conversations about people cooking and preparing the food. There was conversations about the return of pollinators and biodiversity to people's gardens. So yeah, it went quite well, really, we'd say, considering it was a short project. And we're hoping to carry on with this fruit tree planting work in 2024. It's a blindingly simple idea, and I think people will fund us. And we just hope that other people take up the mantle and just look at what we've done, apply for funding in their area. And we mustn't forget that fruit trees, most of them, obviously apart from tropical varieties, grow really well in our climate. And it seems a bit of a no-brainer that so many people have got gardens doing nothing, and so many people are struggling to be able to afford fruit. And let's not forget the ecological benefits, of course, with the return of pollinators and the effect on biodiversity with different species of insects coming into people's gardens where there's fruit trees. So to us, from a permaculture project and from a social justice project, it's a no-brainer. And we would say to anybody at all, get a little group together and then have a look at some funding, and let's cover the UK in fruit trees. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks to Transition Network, and thanks to the National Lottery Community Fund, and thanks to everybody who's been involved in this project. And hopefully we'll see you next year when we'll be out and about with our wheelbarrows and fruit trees. Bye for now.